Hey guys, so it's the first single speed ride of 2024, and I wanted to talk to you about single speeds. A couple things. Why I chose to start riding single speeds, and about gear ratio. I always get questions about what gear ratio I'm running and how to choose gear ratio. So first, let me tell you a little bit about why I chose single speed as I show you my Escort Jaffe that I custom built up with parts that I chose. Bought it as a frame only, and custom wheels, custom build. Everything kind of evolved over time. I had some old parts from my previous single speeds, and then eventually, like, I got the Shimano XTR cranks because I was tired of dealing with bottom brackets going out with 30 millimeter spindles, and even with a high-end Hope bottom brackets and even paired up with Hope cranks, they still went out. So and then I had a real old hub, and then I replaced it with this Onyx hub, and I love that Onyx hub. That thing is just amazing. It's a classic. I would not get the newer Vesper hub just because I think you need the strength for a single speed, because you're just moshing the whole time. So anyway, and you can see all the other parts that I custom built this up with, including custom levers and stuff like that. So I chose single speed because in the winter the days are shorter here in SoCal, and I had less time to ride, and I wanted to make that time more efficient and more of a workout, because I wanted to have the strength during the summer to go on my longer rides. So I figured if I had a single speed, I wouldn't be selecting an easy gear and just, you know, kind of like spinning up here in a low gear like I'm riding a circus trike. So I wanted something that I just had to work out on, and by taking away gear selection and having a single speed, I accomplished that. Another thing I thought of is, you know, derailleurs and all that stuff are expensive, and chains and drivetrains. So as a single speed in the winter, when your parts get a little more worn, then you're not replacing a whole cassette or a whole derailleur. You just get a new cog or a new chain, and it's a lot less expensive. So it's an economy thing to have a single speed in the winter. And that's what I read about too. A lot of guys in the UK were doing that because winters there are really just terrible. We don't have bad winters here, but winters there. So, and then, you know, I just wanted to experience single speed. I felt that, you know, my trails are pretty much grinded up to the top of the mountain and then just let go of the brakes and fly down the hill. And so single speed fits right in. I'm not riding rolling hills where I'm trying to choose a gear to kind of pick up speed on the descent. I never think about having to pick a gear because it's kind of flat and I want to keep that momentum. That just doesn't happen on my local trails. Our mountains are steep and we gain a lot of elevation. So there, I want to take you into the gear ratio. So I have a big old 24 and a 32, and it's an easy gear for me. I mean, it's doable. And this is where I climbed 6.79 miles, and at 11880 feet elevation, I'm at almost 2,900 feet elevation. So when you're climbing that in a short distance like this, and let me scroll through this. When you're climbing that in a short distance, it's really it's a grind. And I chose a gear that works for this grind because I'm going such a short distance and I'm having to, just peg myself and mosh it. And so when I'm going that hard, I don't want to have to get off and walk. I want to be able to pedal and pedal and pedal, and that's what I do. And so having this gear ratio allows me to pedal all the way up. Sure, there's some parts where it's really easy and I'm winding out, but there's not that many on this trail. It's pretty much grinding all the way. So that's another thing to consider when you get single speed and you want to choose your gear ratio. Choose it for where you're riding. It doesn't, asking people randomly on a huge Facebook group or on YouTube, and you live in another country and different part of the world, doesn't apply to your trails. So that's just what I wanted to mention. So anyway, I'm going to get going. Some guys are coming up. They just got through hiking and it looks like a pretty epic hike. And I'll talk to you guys later.